So this is a slightly unusual one for me. I'm very much not in Shetland at the moment. I'm down on the mainland to do an outdoor first aid course, and I'm based in Mulgai for that, which is the start point for the West Highland Way. So I thought I'd take a little bit of a wander along the early sections of the walk and take you along with for a look. So let's see what we see. So the first few miles of the West Highland Way lead through Mugduck Country Park and Mugduck Wood, which is kind of a bit of a novelty really for me as a Shetlander, because we don't have vast areas of forestation and trees like this. This is the third time I've walked on this section of the West Highland Way. I've done the whole thing twice, just doing a small bit today. But it's the first time I've walked through here in the autumn, and I have to say the colours in the trees are just phenomenal. It does help that it's a beautiful day, kind of a rare occurrence at this time of year, but no, we've got a good one and the colours are just phenomenal, so I highly recommend it actually, walking at this time of year if you get the chance. So I've taken a short detour off the West Highland Way to show you something that I think you might like. I know I do. Can't resist a castle. This is Mugduck Castle. Nobody knows exactly how old it actually is, but the tower behind me, which is the oldest point, goes all the way up there. And that wall joining onto it are the remains of the oldest part, which were here at least in 1372. So there's been a castle on this site since at least the middle of the 14th century. We know that because there was a document signed here about a land dispute in the area. This is the remains of the Victorian manor house. It used to be a 3-storey building. It was built in 1874 and lived in until 1948. It's incredible just how much it's deteriorated in that time. It's almost gone. Although there are still 1 or 2 modern trappings around the place, which I'll show you in just a second.
On the road again, just can't wait to get on the road again.
So we've left Mugduck Country Park now. We're now on the public footpath between Mulgai and Drimmen, and the path also leads to Killern, but we won't be going as far as that today. There's still a few interesting spots that we're going to look at as we head along this path though, so we'll get to those shortly. So just beside the path on the West Highland Way is this little memorial. It's to a thing called the Craigallien Fire, which basically at this spot in the 1920s, 30s and even the 40s up to the wartime really, was a place where people would come to escape from the city, from Glasgow really mostly. They tended to be young people, young men mostly, but not always. Often with quite radical ideas. There were socialists, communists, thinkers, writers, poets, all of those sorts of people who would come and escape from the city out to the woods here at Craigallien. And they would camp here, they would stay here. There was always a fire burning on this spot for about 20 years, from the mid-20s up until the 1940s, when I suppose when blackout and wartime restrictions took place. These people would come out here, they'd escape out into the hills, go and explore either perhaps the hills of the Trossachs, Loch Lomond, Ben Lomond, maybe the Crianlarich Hills, or if they could get lucky with their hitchhiking, even up to Glencoe, and to go and climb those mountains. And these people were really the ones, or some of the people who fought for our rights to explore the countryside as we can in Scotland, with the right to roam and things like that. It's actually a really important memorial to those folk that stands here. And it's nice to be able to take a little break off the path, have a wee rest and a wee think about these people. So we've now reached a very special place called Carbeth. It's most famous for its huts, like the one you can probably see just over my shoulder there. The Carbeth Huts have a long and complex history. They've been on the go since 1918, when they were sort of set up as almost as sort of a rehab centre before that was really a thing, for soldiers returning from the Second World War, from the First World War, I apologise. The obvious health benefits of being outside in the fresh air were well known by that point. And so they served as a place for these men to come and to, I suppose, to restore their health a bit. From then, they've also been used as kind of refuges away from the cities and towns like Glasgow, Clydebank and so on, these big industrial towns where standards of living weren't particularly high. And so it was a place where those people could come and get the health benefits that they needed from it as well. The Carbeth Huts, and I suppose the hutters, the people who live in them, have been a really important and special place for a lot of reasons, not just kind of the foundation. They've also been the site of a lot of land rights and struggles and tenants' rights, and they've kind of been a battleground for those things as well. Now the huts are sort of owned as a community cooperative company, and they took ownership of all of the huts in the area in 2013, I believe. So it's a really special success story, I suppose, for those in the land struggle and battling for land and tenants' rights. A really special little place. So I'm going to step away from the West Highland Way at this point. Thank you for joining me on this bit of a walk this morning, first kind of half day or so of the trail. If you'd like to watch the whole thing, I've got a link to it on my personal YouTube channel. I've got a video there, but I'll link that in the description for you to have a look at. And there's a bit more information about some of the things that we've seen down in that description as well. if you can remember to like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out. And yeah, we'll catch you again soon. Thanks.